Welcome everyone to episode 29 of Dads on Wrestling here on YouTube.com. I am Mr. TWGF Meacham, joined as always by the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
Haku Machete!
The Lady Killer, Ray Larkin.
But you already know that.
That's right. Alright, we are here in the shadow of the Sphinx of the Luxor Hotel and Casino here in, once again, Las Vegas.
Which is why I had to throw that in. You know, the Scorpion King, the Mummy returns.
But it has nothing to do. Yeah, but see, the problem with this guy's shirt is The Rock has never held the World Heavyweight Championship from 2002 to present. That's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
The greatest champions to hold the WWE version of the World Heavyweight Championship.
Get that look off your face, stat boy. The Rock held his last championship in 2002, the Undisputed title. When he dropped it to Brock, that is when this belt was created, because Brock became SmackDown exclusive. Now, The Rock did hold the WCW title.
Just the same belt.
But he never held WWE's version of the World Champions. And this was a suggestion topic that we got. I forget who suggested it. Just wanted us to cover the best World Champions. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, if we sit here and we talk about NWA, AWA, ROH, PWG, WCW, ECW, WWE, we're going to be here for fucking like 6 hours. Excuse my language. But
the keys, if you will.
So that's why we're going to narrow it down to just WWE's World Heavyweight Championship.
And you cannot start this topic without talking about the first heavyweight champion,
Triple H.
Hand it to him.
Yes.
And by Bischoff,
By Bischoff.
but he earned it.
He did.
He beat Ric Flair. He
Rob
regained
Van
it.
Dam.
Rob Van Dam. He regained it from Shawn Michaels. He dominated that championship for over 3 years.
Yes. That belt should have just been called the Triple H Championship.
Seriously, at one point.
From 2002 till about 2005, he lost it to Batista. That was the Triple H belt.
Exactly.
I just didn't see there was, like, I was talking with you about this earlier. I didn't see nobody worthy of beating Triple H at that
At that
time.
point, because you had all the WCW guys being thrown as Booker T, Kevin Nash, Goldberg.
Exactly.
Oh, because Goldberg did win it.
Now you
Steiner.
did have Shawn be thrown for a month. You had Orton, who held it for a month before Trips got it back. Orton, of course, beat Chris Benoit, who had a good
3 months.
4 or 5 month run. Yeah, from March to August.
Okay, fine.
You know?
I can count. Fine.
He even got John Cena. I would do that one more time.
But honestly, John Cena was never a great World
Yes.
Heavyweight Champion.
He's a great WWE champion, but the big gold just didn't look right around his waist.
It just didn't fit.
Now, somebody whose waist it did look good around is the man that I'm representing with the Nexus gear, CM Punk, baby. A man who has got everybody talking off of this past week's Raw episode.
Wow. Just wow. That's all you gotta say.
But the guy who used to get people talking, Jeff Hardy, I actually like when he became the World Heavyweight Champion.
Really?
For that
I did
limited
too.
amount of time. It's just because they held the man down so much, and he held himself down. Now, I don't want to get on my Punk rant, but he held himself down. But, you know, when he finally got it, when Edge was hanging in the, hanging in that ladder,
Yeah.
watching his championship go to Jeff Hardy's hands, like, I just beat you, like, in your face. And I'm an Edge head, and that really broke my heart to say that. But
And then Punk comes in and cashes in and takes it from him right away.
Yes.
Right.
Now, something we want to point out here about CM Punk, he got all 3 of his world titles in an 18-month span. And he's been very influential ever since.
He's been without a world title since 2008.
That is why his speech this past week was so passionate.
Everything he
Look
said
on the
was true.
souvenir cups that you get into the arena.
We got it.
Look on the programs. He isn't on them. He may be in the program, he may be in the magazine, but rarely does he get a cover.
right.
And it's BS, because he's, dare I say, CM Punk is the most controversial superstar to come around since D-Generation X in the 90s.
It's hard to argue that. John Cena's been called controversial as well,
But nowhere near to the level of CM Punk.
but not after Monday night.
you know what's interesting?
Now, I want to put somebody else over really quickly. We were talking about how the world title is basically the Triple H championship. Post Triple H, I honestly feel that belt was Edge's personal championship.
True. Also,
It was.
Edge's championship. He held it from 2007 through his retirement.
Yeah.
I believe that he had most of his 11 title reigns with the big gold. I could be wrong.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely
Okay.
correct.
You're right.
So in that way, Edge basically took the torch from Trips and honored that championship for all it's worth. And that belt is an honorable world championship.
And he's battled formidable opponents, really good opponents.
Yes.
A Hall of Fame list of people, and a future, even toward the end, a future Hall of Fame list.
Now go ahead, put over the Undertaker since you're rocking his shirt.
I am 16-0 against Edge at WrestleMania 24. I was there, baby. Love
He's
it.
now 19-0, so that just shows how old the shirt is.
Let's see if I can make the 6.
Seriously, that shirt's about as old as your son. I'm just saying.
It's a true statement because within 3 days or a few days, there it was. All right, anyway. Yes, The Undertaker, the World Heavyweight Championship, beat Batista, beat Edge, beat CM Punk. Undertaker made everybody realize that the World Championship was worth challenging.
Would you guys say Batista was a worthy champion?
Definitely. The first reign. The first reign.
Okay, I will give you Batista's first reign from when he defeated Triple H at WrestleMania until he had to forfeit his title due to injury. Batista was a worthy champion.
Oh,
From his second reign until he left, he was a fuck up.
Yep.
when he came out in that Miami Vice suit and then they handed the belt over and it was like, well, where are you going, to Florida? You're going to retire? So
In his wake, in his injury,
Kurt Angle
picked up that ball and he ran 100 yards from end zone to end zone for the touchdown, baby.
Until
That belt looked so good, no homo, around Kurt Angle's waist.
Definitely.
it was destined.
And then,
Destiny.
From a gold medal to the big gold.
and then the end of the reign at WrestleMania with
We're not going to talk about him because he's
Let's
not
just
a world
say
champion.
they gave the belt to a guy who could barely carry it.
literally carry
Okay, like, seriously,
Yeah.
I think he had to stand on his tippy toes and spike up his avatar mask, because you have to be at least this tall to be world heavyweight champion, and he barely met the height requirements. I'm just saying.
Barely. Sorry, Ray.
No, I'm not. I'm not sorry at all.
Stat Boy.
You took Chavo's reign.
Yes, Stat Boy.
And the weight requirement.
Yes, seriously, 175 pounds is not
Now, we can argue the weight requirement all you want, because when Shawn won his first title, I don't think he was quite at heavyweight champion status.
230.
He was still technically pushing the cruiserweight, light heavyweight down.
Early 200.
So, if you want to go there with Ray, go there with Shawn.
Ray at 175 pounds, Shawn 220.
I'm just saying.
I know, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I know you're
And I'm
just
not even saying it to dish Shawn this time. But if you're going to go there with the weight on Ray, go there with the weight on Shawn.
But the weight on Shawn when he won the World Heavyweight Championship, he was all right.
This is true.
Okay, because he was at home for 3 months. He took you to the sun. So, there you go. Anyway, who else? World Heavyweight Championships.
The Great Khali.
Worthy.
I'm only going to give Khali the rub this time because I feel that was the only time he was being pushed properly. He basically was getting the Andre push, if you will. He dominated the Battle Royal to win the title. They fed him all the small people to make him look like a monster. And for the 2 months, 3 months, however long his run was, they hid his flaws and accentuated his strengths. And that was the only time I feel Khali was worthy.
I like Kane. Kane wasn't too
Kane
bad.
as a heel as the world champion made me...
All the way until Paul Bearer got kidnapped by Edge and they turned him to a sniveling baby.
And they kept throwing him off of a rooftop.
Seriously, that was the beginning of the end of Kane, and then when she started doing this with Santino, that was the end of the end.
The nail in the coffin, baby.
Sorry, Kane.
Speaking of nails in the coffin, got to put over Benoit.
Yes, Benoit for those
Got to
5
put
months
Benoit.
as world champion carried it like a champion should.
And I know
That's how you feel about him.
I'm gonna get heat for that comment right there, the nail in the coffin, But
He was cremated, so it's okay.
But at the end of the day, Chris Benoit had defied all the odds in that moment at WrestleMania 20 with the confetti falling, him and Eddie hugging in the ring, arms raised with their belts in the air. The biggest F you to Eric Bischoff that there ever could have been. His hiatus, because, if memory serves me correctly, Stat Boy, from his undisputed run until he left the first time, he didn't get the belt back.
Never did.
So
Never
it took
did.
him coming back, changing his image up,
Turning heel, hardcore heel.
turning Nick Bockwinkel.
Yep.
Google him.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Google a Nick Bockwinkel promo
Nick Bockwinkel.
and Google a Jericho 2007 promo and tell me if it's not the same thing.
Nick Bockwinkel was at Rollins, and he was walking down the ramp. I said, Mr. Bockwinkel, give me the picture. He said, I gotta go, dude. And I walked back. I had 3 people. Who was that? And I told one
That's
of
the
them.
C Nation for you. I'm sorry. You told me
I
not to
told
call
you.
him that. You told me not to call him that. But the C Nation does not know who Nick Bockwinkel is. The historians, not even a lot of the Attitude Era people, either never knew or forgot who Bockwinkel is. It's the true historians, the people like you guys that grew up watching it, the guys like me that did their homework when they got into it, that know who Nick Bockwinkel is. So yes, the C Nation doesn't know who he is.
You do know who he is. You guys are newly C Nation.
I'm talking about
Newly C Nation members.
new fans, the new moment.
No, I understand what you're saying. I grew up watching, wasn't really a fan of the organization or him. And when I see him at the Cauliflower Alley Club, which I go to every year, he's kind of self-involved. He thinks highly of himself, and it's like, you're not that important. When Roddy Piper's taking the stage, sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. When Stone Cold Steve Austin's taking the stage, sit your ass down and don't talk if you don't want to stunt.
But in all fairness, with the exception of Piper, there would have been no Austins, no Cenas, no Rocks if it hadn't been for guys like
We got Nick
Bockwinkel.
Bockwinkel. Honestly,
You know what?
Nick Bockwinkel made the over-exaggerated, highly hyped, very intelligent heel get over, but somebody else would have come over.
You know what, Jeff? I'm just going to wheel out the Iron Sheik who's watching behind us over here at a Pepsi vending machine. We're just going to wheel him out here, and he's just going to let you know what he thinks about Nick Bockwinkel, Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter.
None of
Sheiky,
them were
Sheiky,
world
Sheiky,
champions.
stay back, Sheiky, stay back.
Oh, he's dead.
So
he just passed out. He just passed
He
out.
passed out.
as the Desert Heat.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think
No, it
we've
was the
covered.
Bruise.
I think we've covered the greatest world champions that there is. Just tune in next week for episode 30. Can you believe we've made it here? Episode 30. It's more than like triple what I did on a Hardy Conversation. Tune in for episode 30 next week where we cover the greatest United States champions of all time. Once again, here at the Luxor
Thank you for
Hotel
doing
in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
We will see you next time.
Haku Machete!